It's very rare, I have to confess, that I talk about Prince Harry not once but twice. If anyone watches my programme regularly, you'll know that I often say it's a H&M zone because I can't bear the absolute ridiculousness that goes on when it comes to this couple very often. But I feel the need to touch upon Harry briefly. I'll get it over the way, out of the way, do it early, as they say, get the hardest things out of the way first, because I really find this topic of this couple and all the rest of it a little bit tedious, I must confess. But anyway, Prince Harry is in court challenging the Home Office over its decision to downgrade his royal security when he visits our country. So you, the taxpayer, me and you, do you think we should be funding Prince Harry's protection? He makes an awful lot of money, doesn't he? I dread to think how much. Off all of his endeavours. Shouldn't he fund his own or not? Jacqueline, where are you?
Very disappointed, because I think we were great fans of Harry. I think everybody, the public, was behind him. They hoped that, you know, he was great fun. He served in the armed forces, and when he got married, I think, you know, the support for him there was brilliant. They made a decision. They made a decision that they would like to step back from royal duties, from the royal family, and with that brings consequences. I think we're more disappointed by what's happened with the books and the various comments that have come out that have been really made the King and others subject to terrible criticisms that, in my view, are totally unjustified. And but when it comes to protection, it's a tricky one, because obviously if you have been born into that family, we know that people can be a target. But by the same token, they're earning plenty of money. They're living a very good life in California. And I think, therefore, that they should be paying towards the protection when they come over.
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, though, there was a legal bid. He wanted, apparently, to be able to pay, basically, police officers for private protection. I think he lost that bid, basically. Yeah. So he wasn't quite successful in being able to do that. But, Peter, where are you on it?
Well, there's a case still going on the court. We don't know the answer yet. Neither Labour nor Tories have said much about it, because by convention, politicians don't comment on royal matters, especially on security matters. To me, I'm not against paying for it in some form, because Harry and Meghan, they chose to opt out of being working royals, but they can't choose to opt out of the threat or concern against someone. We know that for anyone in the public eye, there are a very small number of disturbed individuals who could pose a threat to them, and Harry's part of the most famous family in the world. So I do have a bit of sympathy for him, because whatever choices he makes about his working life, it can't have much of an impact on a threat that might be posed by other people.
Yeah, but isn't that the purpose of private protection? Hire your own personal bodyguards. It doesn't necessarily have to be members of the police, and we've heard about that case a second ago, but staff yourself, surround yourself with personal bodyguards.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine that's very expensive. I think we'd all agree...
It's absolutely minted, Peter.
The police shouldn't be for hire, because you or I generally can't hire the police, and I think they have very, very strict policies on secondary working. But the police are for hire, though. The police are for hire. When there's a football match, for example, police will be hired. Well, that's not strictly true. They're not hired. Clubs pay a reimbursement cost. But I take your broader point, which is a Premier League club dips into its coffers.
The clubs are paying for advanced policing in and around those football games.
Yes, they're contributing to a bill.
By my simple definition, that would constitute... If you're a football club owner and you're staffing up your football match with the police and paying for that privilege, to me, that would indicate a level of the police being available for hire.
But legally, that's not the case, because it's a public event, and the police have a duty to safeguard public events, and they seek reimbursement, because obviously Premier League clubs tend to be very affluent.
But can I just come in for
a brief
point? I mean, they spend 99% of their time in California. One thing is for sure, you seem to get more crackpots running around America doing these sorts of things, that attacking people, etc. And obviously he has to pay for any protection there. So we're actually talking about a relatively few times that he may come over here, and because obviously we can't be expected to pay for his security over there. And but as I've said, of course he needs security, but by the same token, I think he can pay for it.
What do you guys make to this at home? Because it is, to your point, it is a bit of a tricky one. You know, you can't help who your parents are, and if that does put you in the line of fire, so to speak, that's a crude expression, but if that does put you at higher risk, then is that your fault? The flip side to that is obviously he would monetise and does proactively monetise who he is and makes a lot of money from that.